Sex and the City is the title of the humorous columns that the journalist Candice Bushnell held on the New York Observer. In 1995, these columns were gathered into a book that is considered as one of the originators of the chick lit genre, which soon became a bestseller. In 1996, the cable TV network HBO broadcast a TV series created by Darren Star that takes inspiration from the book, and became a media phenomenon of the 90s, winning 7 Emmy Awards and 8 Golden Globe Awards. The serial Sex and the City is composed of 6 seasons, but the first season is the one inspired by the book. Nevertheless, the fans who read the book expecting to re-experience the first season of the series and the adventures of the 4 beloved protagonists are inevitably disappointed. In fact, Darren Star almost started from scratch to create the strong personalities of the 4 protagonists, Carrie, Charlotte, Miranda, and Samantha, and centered the series on their life experiences in the Big Apple and on their strong friendship tie. While the book is centered on the sociological survey of the lifestyle and the relationships in the New York high society, carried out in the field by the writer Candice Bushnell. She narrates the experiences of many characters in so many words and showing no piety, depicting an ironic, unscrupulous, and daring sociological picture of a society in which all that matter is sex, career, and money. The book doesn't have a precise narrative structure. The identity of the omniscient narrator is concealed, and she narrates the experiences of several characters on a specific topic without following a logical thread, and without manifestly expressing her point of view. On the contrary, in the series, the external omniscient narrator, Carrie Bradshaw, introduces herself through voiceover from the beginning. She is the main character of the series, acting as alter ego of the writer Candice Bushnell. Carrie's voice opens and closes every episode, introducing the topic examined in it through a question typed on her laptop addressing the viewers. In addition, Carrie weaves the storyline through narrative sequences in which she narrates the characters' experiences concerning the topic dealt with in the episode, and reflective sequences in which she links the stories together, commenting them, and explaining her point of view regarding the topic. The influence of the book is shown in the first season through the insertion of interviews of characters differing in sex, profession, and walk of life, but all bonding over being New Yorkers. They overlook the camera as if they were talking to the viewers, and answer Carrie's questions on sex and relationships based on their personal experience, and explain their point of view on the episode topic. Unfortunately, this interesting nature of sociological survey decreases in the second season until it disappears to be replaced by the 4 protagonist stories alone that come to be the only answer to Carrie's questions. On one end, the success of the series is in a large part due to the boldness and the modernity of the topics dealt with in the book concerning sex and relationships that have made up a full-scale and hilarious guide on the matter of life and relationships. On the other hand, the series has given life to 4 female well-rounded characters with whom it is easy to empathize with, and whose friendship tie, based on the ability to listen and on sincere exchange of views, prompts every fan of the series to desire of joining their group or creating an analogous group in their life. 2 more fundamental elements of the series are New York and fashion. New York is the DNA of the West, a metropolis that sums up the best qualities of the most desired city in the world. The image of New York in this series takes inspiration from Woody Allen, who was in turn inspired by Breakfast at Tiffany's, that establishes New York as a place where everything is possible, assigns the city with the leading role, declares love for the city, and celebrates the pride of being a New Yorker. It is important to underline that the city the title of the series actually refers to is Manhattan rather than New York itself. The city has such a leading role that it has been defined by the series as the 5th protagonist, since its existence characterizes its citizens' lifestyle and makes their experiences possible. From the opening theme with footage of the city traffic, it is already clear that the city is an integral part of the narration, but the true soul of the Big Apple is the indoor scene: stores, cafeteria, museums, and club, which actively witness the happenings of the series and guard the secrets of the four girlfriends. The areas and apartments the protagonists live in reflect their social status and identities. They only frequent exclusive places and never use the kitchen, that has always been seen as a symbol of femininity and housewives. This underlines their status of emancipated businesswomen. For the protagonists, moving outside Manhattan, and especially outside the Upper East Side, would mean losing their status of glamorous and self-sufficient women and changing their sense of self. In the matter of fashion, it can be stated that the concept introduced by the philosopher Simmel about fashion's practical uselessness, about the impulse to own what is trendy, and the emptying of the object's function, finds its foundation in the series Sex and the City, in which the non-wearable protagonist's high-heeled shoes are emblematic. The value of the goods doesn't consist in their practical purpose anymore. Rather, it consists in their identification with the brand that becomes a value in itself. Sex and the City sets itself as a channel of propaganda for some brands using the product placement strategy. That's to say that it places products within an entertainment production beloved by an attention-seeking generation of young people, in which it generates the need of identification with the suggested model. It is the case of Manolo Blahnik's shoes, made more famous thanks to the series and desired by all the fans of the series. Fashion has a leading role in this series, since it is a passion that the four protagonists share, beyond the passion for men, and cements their friendship because it fulfills their natural need of cohesion and of individual differentiation at the same time. The Fandom Publics Forum proved that the series has become a cult due to the cross-identification between friendship and the behavior in fashion consumption. Sex and the City achieved in setting a trend consumption never reached before, since it represents to its public not just a guide to follow on a matter of love and friendship, but also an innovative model of fashion consumption behavior. Before being distributed abroad, all audiovisual products must undergo censorship. That is to say, the procedure that examines artistic products with the aim of removing elements that are considered inadequate or not politically correct, and all that could be considered personally and/or morally offensive by the target culture. Censorship is a centenary institution in Italy. The fact that still today this country withstands a law dating back to 1962 that puts the showing and the exportation of films and theatrical performances through the authorization of a special commission proves how our country is close-minded or tries to maintain its people close-minded. The fact that in the United States an outright cinematographic censorship commission doesn't exist, and the lack of censorship of the American TV network HBO that produced and broadcast the series for the first time, are what made a production like Sex and the City possible. A series whose uniqueness is due to its irony, its scenes provocative and funny at the same time, and to its in so many words characteristic dialogues of four women for whom nothing is too scandalous to be said. The censorship of this series in Italy was done firstly through the programming, destining the series for a limited public, since it was broadcast by an unpopular channel like LA7, and in addition in the pre-watershed from midnight. But it is important to notice that at least the scenes were not censored at all. Rather than undergoing cuts, the verbal content translated in Italian underwent mitigations where it was too risque or linked to sex, and it lost allusions. Firstly, this is due to the fact that in American, vulgar language is consistent throughout the country, in which there are many more bad words compared to Italian, in which these words are ascribed to regional dialects that can't be used for the dubbing because these would impede the comprehension to those who don't understand that particular dialect. Secondly, it is due to the self-imposed censorship of the Italian translators caused by their belonging to a country in which taboos are more rooted and the people are more close-minded compared to Americans. Despite the action of censorship, Sex and the City has been an innovative series that, with its provocative dialogues and topics, crossed the threshold of the speakable in Italy as in many other countries all over the world. Sex and the City went beyond the small public it aimed at and won millions of fans and enthusiasts and became an outright cult.